Hi there everyone, I hope you're having a great Thursday. I thought I would do a tutorial on a card that I made a couple of days ago and give it a winter theme. So this is the card that I had made a couple of days ago, and it's using patterned paper, fabric, lace, die cuts, glitter, the rock candy glitter, and it's just a nice little fall or autumn card. So when I made this one, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to do a set of four? And you could probably do them as a gift pack. You could do spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and just have one for each season. So that's my plan for this. I'll see how this winter card goes first, and then I'll see about making another two and maybe having a follow up with the other two if you fancy that. So I'm going to go through what I'm going to be using, or what I've dug out to use to make the winter card for this. I've got two collection packs. I've picked out one from the Sundrifter collection pack by Studio Calico, and I've picked out this nice pale, and I'm not sure if it'll pick it up, but it's kind of like a very fine polka dot. You might just be able to pick that up, but it's just a nice delicate colour. And then the other one that I have picked is this one here, and it's kind of a distressed floral pattern there, and that's from a company called Maha Designs, and it's the Vintage Spring Basics. There's quite a lot of nice papers in this pack, so that's the other line that I'm going to be using. What I've also pulled out is some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in Patina. I've got my dry glitter here in Clear Rock Candy. And I've got this pack here, which is by SEI, and it's Berry Melody, and it's sundries. Now in the sundries pack I got some tulle, some quite bendy tinsel. It had some baker's twine, a little packet of pearls, and some little pegs. So that was in that kit. I might not use them, but I'll pull them out anyway just to see how it goes. I've also got this that I picked up on one of my sale shops online, and it's City Sidewalks. I think it's an old collection, but it's got nice snowflakes in here, and I thought rather than having the maple leaf in the centre, I could have a nice big snowflake. So that's the plan. So I'll just pop them there just now, and then I'm going to be using a stamp set from a company called Clearly Besotted, and there is a nice little sentiment down the bottom here, Happy Holidays, and it also has a matching outline, tag outline, and the die set to go with it, so I plan to use that as well. I've got heavyweight white cardstock here. That's a really quite a good weight, and then a little piece of muslin fabric. And I've also got some laces which I'll need to dig out, and they are from Gisela, and it's Lavish Laces Etsy store. She has such great product, so I'm just going to dig out a little bit of lace here before I get started, so that I've got a little bit ready to go. There we go. So I'm going to get started and see how we go with the card. Now this card that I made here was, looking for my ruler, 6.5 inches by 4, and I think I might make it just 6 by 4 and make it slightly smaller, or I should actually do it all the same size. So it would be 13 that I would need, so that's not a big enough bit of paper going that way or that way, so I'll need to get a bigger sheet out, because if I'm going to do a box set then they all need to be the same size, so just bear with me a second. I buy this paper in Blurridge, There we go. I buy this paper in great big huge sheets, and it's a really good buy. I get it at a craft fair when it comes to my town. So what I'm going to do is stick my paper trimmer there, and I need to get the arm up for this. So I need it to be at 13 inches. And this is the Stampin' Up trimmer, which I love. It's the best thing ever. Now this is 13 inches and it's fitting in there. I don't know if you can see that okay, but it's fitting in okay. And then this needs to be by 4. And then what I'm going to do is stick it back in here and then just score it at 6.5. Pop that over there, and then that way I can get rid of my excess bit of paper there. So that's a cardstock cut, and my background paper is actually going to be, will I make it the blue one? No, I'll have the blue at the front. I'll do the darker one at the back, and this is going to be 6 inches by, now that's 4, so if I make it by 3 3/4, and then what size did I make this bit? This is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so it's 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that's our 2 layers. Excuse my phone to turn the sound down on it. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is let me just move that down a wee bit. I'm going to distress these edges and then edge them in Vintage Photo. So I have a Vintage Photo here and my inking tool there, and I'm going to distress the edges with the Ingvild Bohm distress tool. And what I like to do is just kind of rough around the edges to start with, and then go in and then just hack it a little bit with this one. So I'm just going to take this over here a little bit so that the bits go on the floor. So that's the first one roughed up. And then I'm going to go back in and go around the edges with the... And if you don't have this distress tool, a pair of scissors would do. The edge of a pair of scissors would be just as good. Because until I got this tool, that's what I used to use, was a pair of scissors. And what I used to do was I just used to get the edge of the scissors and then just scrape along the edge. And then you see that you're more inclined to get little rips if you use your scissors, but if you're careful, but it doesn't really matter because that's the look I'm going for. So scissors are fine. And then I'll just rough this one up. One edge left to go, and then we'll be done. I can't believe it's nearly 11 minutes that I've been doing already, and all I've done is cut out 3 bits of paper. Just as well I'm not doing this on a time. Make a card in 10 minutes, or I would be a complete failure. So that's our first one done. Don't worry if it's crinkled. Crinkled's good. And then I'm just going to go down this, just very lightly on this one, because I want to retain the bluey greeniness of that one. Okay, so that's the edges done on that. And I'll just pop that out of the way. What I did plan to do was get some drippage going on this. I'm just going to use a small piece of fabric to soak that up, because I've run out of wet wipes tonight. And I did put in a request from down at the house for somebody to run up the garden and get me some. But after 2 text messages to my son and my husband, nobody appeared with the wet wipes. So I'm just going to get my heat tool and just dry these off. Shouldn't take long. There we do. That should do for now. There's just a couple that are almost dry, which I will just dab that. That's fine. So that's our 2 layers, and I think I'll put that bit at the bottom. I'm just going to get this other one down so I can remember what I've done with it. Right, okay. So that's the back layer, and there's nothing else getting done with that one. What we need to do is we need to work on this front layer. Now you can either do it 2 ways. You can apply it to the base patterned paper, or you can decorate it off and then assemble it afterwards. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to build in a bit of this tulle and get my glue out. This is a great glue for adhering fabric to card. It's Collal all-purpose glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a piece of tulle. So that's a couple of pieces there, and a piece of, I don't want to cut that because it's got wire in it, a piece of that one, and I think what I'll do is I'll adhere the tulle first. But what I'm going to do is, I keep chopping and changing my mind about what I'm going to be doing with this. but what I'm going to do is take Stampin' Dimensionals, and I just like to make sure that it's not going to dip or warp. So it may seem excessive putting 9 dimensionals on it, but once this stuff sticks, it's really quite good. And I know it won't lift. So I'll just pop this on. There we go. So that's our 2 layers together. You can see the splodges. Now I'm going to just pop some of this glue on here. It is a bit whiffy, this glue, it stinks a bit, so I'm going to stick that on there. And then just take some more and just squidge up that middle bit there, because that's where I'm going to be putting this lump of fabric. And if you've got a bit of scratch paper, it's quite a good idea just to press down if you don't want the glue on your fingers. I tend to do that quite often. Just hold that down. There we go, and then I'm going to take this piece of tinsel and I'm just going to pop that down and just hold it in place for a wee second. Now I was going to pop a little piece of this on as well, which I might put up and down that way. Okay, so I'm going to put a dab of glue there, a bit in the middle and a bit in the end. And then just trail that over. And then I'm going to get the, if I can find them, the snowflakes. Because then what I'll do is I'll put a snowflake in the centre and then I'll put something heavy on it to weigh it all down so that it all Jeez, how to wreck a packet in 2 easy steps. I'm going to go with that one. So I'm just putting some glue on the back and then adhering that down there. So I need something heavy on that. So I've got a jar of sequins, so I'm just going to dump that down on there just until it grabs a hold. And then we'll go on and die cut the sentiment. So I'm going to move the stamps and the dies over. Get rid of the distress tool, we're finished with that. Just move this paper out of the way. Put the glue over there and slide that up there. Now, This is the die set, and it's called Tag Along Die Collection from Clearly Besotted Stamps. And these are a UK company, and they are photopolymer stamps, and they are really good quality. And I believe that you can also buy them if you're in the US from Simon Says Stamp. So I always tend to keep little offcuts of paper at the side, purely for this reason, that if you've got tags, that you can just chuck one through, and it's the same colour as my cardstock, so I'm going to use a piece of that. And then what I'm going to do is get my my die, put it face down, and get some painter's tape and just put it on either side to save it sliding around. And I'll just get my die cut machine up. Pop that in. Run that through. And then remove the painter's tape. And that's our tag cut out there. So I'm going to be using the sentiment Happy Holidays but what I want to do is get the dotted outline for this, and then I'll just pop that on there and we can then stamp. This is Tide Pool mid-tone shadow ink from Hero Arts. And I'm just going to keep that there. And press down. And you can see that is giving you a really nice impression. So I don't want to use the Tide Pool for the actual sentiment itself. I'll pop that there and clean that off in a minute. And it is the Happy Holidays sentiment that I'm going to be putting in down here. And this is Wet Cement. Again, it's a mid-tone shadow ink from Hero Arts. Now, I've not used this before, so I just want to make sure that it's going to stamp nice. Usually on about the third one it starts to come good. And again, I'm just going to use another bit of scratch paper. Oh, that's perfect. And then I'm just going to line that up in the centre and stamp that. And again, I'll clean that off in a minute. And that's the little sentiment there, Happy Holidays. So I'm just going to pop that out, throw that in the bucket, and get the dimensional adhesives from Stampin' Up. These are my favourites. I think that they are good value for money because it fills the whole sheet. you know, you can even use the edges. So three pieces on that. Let's see how this is drying off over here. It might take a wee while. So what I'll do is, did I peel that? I've not peeled that off yet. So I'm going to bring the card over at this point and just line that up. And then give the edge a good score with your bone folder. Open it back up again, and then I'm going to put on with dimensional adhesive. So I've got to watch when I'm turning this over because it's still wet and it still needs a good hour for that glue to dry. You could use glossy accents, but I do like the fact that that glue is good with fabric. There we go. So far so good. I'll peel these off. There we go, and our sentiment will go in down at the bottom here. So I'll just peel that off, and then I'll put a couple of the pearls in from the Berry Melody pack. There we go. There we go. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is get my heat gun. Just let it heat up for a little second. And I'm going to just frazzle the edges of the tool. There we go. Perfect. So that's our little card. A little kind of shabby Happy Holidays card. So that's the winter and the autumn cards complete. And then I think probably over the weekend I'll make the spring and summer. So if you fancy making one of these little cards, what was I going to say there? Yeah, leave me a comment below if you liked the tutorial. And if you fancy making these for yourself, drop me a little comment and let me know how you get on. And if you want to share your project with me, that's perfect. You can hop over or leave the link below to your blog, and I'll go over and I'll have a little look at your cards. So I'm going to head off now. It's late o'clock here, or dark o'clock, and time for my bed. So I shall see you soon, and have a great weekend. Bye for now.